things that he did right. He can tell you the things that he did wrong. So let's spring him with a warrior welcome, Frank Murphy.
Thanks, Coach. Man, I appreciate that, but you know, right now I'm kind of shaking a little bit, and I didn't even know it was going to go down like that, the way I would be feeling right now, because I want y'all to understand how I feel right now, because this is where I started at. First of all, I'm going to need all y'all attention. Thank you. Where I started at, and I want to speak from the heart, I started right here at West Nassau. And when I think about all the hard times, all the bad mistakes I made, I shouldn't be here. I'm honored to be alive to talk to you right now and tell you how I feel and how I made it. I'm humbled to tell you that I won when I should have been dead, or I should have been incarcerated for 25 years. It's the same man that you see up here that had 2 guns to his head, and I didn't know if they was going to kill me or not. It's the same man that you see up here today that was incarcerated for over a year when they told me my future was over. But I said, no, it's not. It's the same man standing up here that didn't take education seriously, but then came back and made a 3.2 to go on to Kansas State University. And on the way here and on the way home, I always pass the graveyard. I always pass the graveyard. And everybody think the wealthiest place in the world is Africa because of the diamonds, or Iraq because of the gold. I'm here to tell you that the most wealthiest place and treasure is in your backyard, which is the graveyard. Why is that, Frank? Because the graveyard has people that had a business plan but never was able to fulfill it. The graveyard has athletes in there that was going to give back to their community but never made it. The graveyard have great pastors in there that had great sermons but never was able to speak them. The graveyard has all the treasure. And I begin to say, I don't want you guys' treasure to go to the graveyard. What can I do? What part can I play to make sure that you guys' treasure don't make it to the graveyard? One thing you got to understand, you got potential. The word potential is key. Because potential means that you haven't accomplished all you can accomplish. Potential means you haven't done all you can do. And see, if your potential go to the graveyard, you cheated the next generation. Because your potential has to be completed so the next generation can see how to be successful. And that's one thing that I want. When somebody see my carcass and look into that graveyard, when they see the name Frank Murphy, it's going to be empty, because I used everything I possibly could to make my next generation better than what I was. And that's why I'm here today. Yes, I do thank God for the book signing. I do thank God for the opportunity that He's given me. I don't take that lightly. But I'm here to make sure that nobody in this room take for granted their life and their opportunity to be here. And I don't want your treasure to go to the graveyard. I don't want your potential to go to the graveyard. I didn't make it here by myself. I mean, I got teachers here, Coach Green, Miss Wade, we can go on and on and on and on, of many teachers that was here crying with me, saying, Frank, please get it together. Because if you get it together, you're going to do something special. But you know what? It was on me to believe what they were saying and apply it. And when I took it serious, things started changing in my life. To make sure your treasure don't go to the graveyard, I'm going to share a couple of pointers with you. And I want you to remember this. I want you to grasp this. I want you to let it marinate. I want you to take this with you. The first thing, you have to put yourself in position to be successful. It's just like I trained Peyton Manning. He's a great friend of mine. And last summer we was training and he said, Frank, if you know Peyton, if you watch football, I want you in that position right there. I'm gonna throw the ball. Peyton don't even have to look. And he said, I'm gonna have another quarterback with me. He may be different than me. He brought Tom Brady. So I'm catching for 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And I say, this is gonna be interesting because I want to see which one I'm the best, in my mind. And Peyton say, Frank, I want you right there. And every time I was in the right position, I was able to receive the ball and catch it. That's the same way with success. You have to make sure you're in the right position. If you're not in the right position for success, success will pass you by and the ball will hit the ground. Well, today when you leave here, I want you to make sure that no blessings, no ball hit the ground when somebody tell you to get in position for success. Now remember, nobody can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. Not knowing your purpose is like not knowing your name.